This is the answer key to check your warm-up before the quiz. You can watch this, pause it, make sure you know what you're doing before you get the quiz from the teacher. So our rules are make sure that everything is set equal to 0. So these three already are, and then factor. And so once you have the factors, you set them equal to 0. In this case, the first two are already factored. So all I need to do is set each of them equal to 0 and solve. So the first one is 1/2. Second one I'm going to solve. We're just solving a little two-step equation. There's my two solutions. The next one is already factored, and you might just look at it and get the answer, or you can set each of the factors equal to 0 just to make sure you're solving these. Again, it's already factored. And so if you're catching on to the pattern, you notice that whatever makes this equal to 0. So 5 minus 5 is 0. That's why 5 is a solution. 2 minus 2 is 0. That's why 2 is a solution. This one, everything's set equal to 0, but I need to factor. So I'm going to factor using guess and check. Two factors that multiply to give me 6. I'm going to try 3 and 2. And I need to come up with 5, which I can if these are both positive. So I have my two factors. Set those equal to 0 to solve. So v equals -3. And v equals -2. Okay, those are pretty straightforward. Here's one with a graph. It says find the zeros, and it's the x-intercept. So in this one, it would be -3, +1. That means somehow if we factor that, we would have something that is x plus 3 and x minus 1. There's actually a negative out in front of it, but we just need to find the zeros. Okay, so this one, I notice it's a binomial. It is set equal to 0, so I don't factor with guess and check. All I can do is GCF. The GCF is just W. So I have W equals 0. It's already solved. W plus 4 equals 0. I can solve that. The last two are ones you just got to do a little work first. My first step is to make sure everything's equal to 0. Well, it's not, so I'm going to bring the 4 over. I don't have any like terms. So now I need to factor it. So I know it has to be G and G. And I'm going to try 4 and 1. I could try 2 and 2, but I think 4 and 1 is going to work better. So that's 4G and 1G. Put a negative here. -4 plus 1. So now it's factored. And let's try your shortcut here to solve. 4 minus 4 is 0. So the solution there is 4. And -1 plus 1 is 0. So your two solutions are 4 and -1. Last one. I need to bring the 9q over. And now I'm going to factor. So q and q. 5 and 4 multiplies to give me 20. 5q and 4q can give me 9q if they're both positive. So again, I'm just looking at the solution this time. So q equals -5 and q equals -4. If you feel like you're ready to go, get your quiz from your teacher. You can use your notes. Here's a couple more examples I'll do. I need to bring this over. These are a little bit harder to factor. So I'm going to try 4b and 2b. I always try to not use 8 and 1. And let's try 5 and 3 and see how we do. So that's 10 and that's 12. So 10 and 12 doesn't work to give me 29. So I'm going to switch the 3 and the 5 around and see if that works. So that gives me 20 and 6, which doesn't work. So I have not tried 15 and 1. That gives me 19, doesn't work. I know if I switch the 1 and 15 around, I'm going to get a really big number. So the 4b does not work. So let's try, this was 15. Let's try 8b and b. Let's try our 5 and 3 with that. So there's a 5, there's a 3, that's 5, that's 24. They both, negative 5 and negative 24 is negative 29. So now it is factor. So that one's just a little bit harder to factor. Once I have my factors, though, I'm good to go. I set them equal to 0, plus 5, b equals 5/8. I know the answer to that, b equals 3. So this one, I want to bring everything over to where it's positive. I'm going to rewrite it down here. So 7m squared plus 29m plus 24 equals 0. I know the first factors have to be 7 and 1. So let's just try 6 and 4. Let's hope it's right. So that's 6 and 28. I can't come up with 29. So let's switch the 4 and the 6. That's 4 and 42 doesn't work. So 6 and 4 are not it. Let's try 8 and 3. There's an 8 and 3. That's 8 and 21. 21 plus 8 is 29, so that would work. So I have two solutions. One of them I know is negative 3. The other one I'm going to set equal to 0 to solve. M equals negative 8/7. That's all.